And then by month 3, typically, that's whenever everything dried up. This system can work without you being so hands-on. This builds trust. They see you, they know that you're teaching them, and hey, teach a man to fish, he's gonna love you. All right, welcome to the channel. So, today's episode. If you've ever spent money on marketing or ads and thought, where the hell did all that just go? Then this video is for you. I can't tell you how many roofers, solar companies, contractors that I've talked to that spend money on a marketing agency or some sort of marketer in general, and then they have nothing to show for it at the end of 1, 3, and 6 months. And then they all say the same exact thing. They say something along the lines of, yeah, we hired an agency, they ran some ads, they boosted some posts, and we got nothing. But honestly, the truth is, it's not your fault. Really, the entire marketing system for blue-collar businesses, or even service businesses for that matter, has just been broken. And so I'll talk in this video about how we're changing up the game and things that you can implement to use this to your advantage and not fall into this trap that everyone else is falling for.
It's a trap!
Hey, my name's Garrett with Frasier Media Company, and well, we help home service businesses build big brands with simple marketing systems. That way they can create leads, grow revenue, and create freedom. So our founders have built their own service businesses that grew to multiple 7 and 8 figures and then exited those said businesses. But in the meantime, we also used digital marketing to grow those businesses. Not all of them were just based on door knocking. So although we have experience in both, the founders, make sure you bookmark that, have built multiple 7 and 8 figure businesses, all using digital marketing. Our strategy isn't to keep our strategies a secret. Actually, we're very forthright and forthcoming with it because of the fact that usually whenever a brand or business sees how to do it, they implement it, and then they know that we can do it for them because everyone always runs out of time to implement the strategies themselves. So then they ultimately end up hiring us. That's why we give away all of this sauce and information. And in today's episode, I'm gonna show you how service businesses waste so much, thousands and thousands of dollars on marketing, and how to fix it once and for all. Let's get into it. And stick around to the end of the episode because I'm gonna show you exactly how you can get our blue collar scaling system and download it for yourself so that you can go ahead and start implementing this strategy for yourself. So whenever I started working with contractors years ago, especially I saw this over in the solar field. I had a buddy named Carlos. He goes by the Wolf of Solar. You'll find him on YouTube. He's tried multiple different things, whether it was, I forget what it was called, the solar lead thing. They have a roofing division also. And he's always talked massive dookie on their name. But he tried different avenues such as Prospect Bacon. You've seen their ads around. They're like crispy hot leads for real cheap. So he was on a retainer for $14,000 a month with them. And then also he even tried the Angie's List home service listing, and they would send him over leads here and there. Same story happened every single time. He would start paying this $14,000. A lot of people would start at $3,000, $5,000, $10,000. He just jumped right into it all the way at $14,000 is the number that I remember specifically, to paying this company directly to give him leads each month.
Give me more details.
It was really good for the first typically 3 to 4 weeks.
So that didn't last long.
Rounding out that first month period, then going into the second month, then things would slow down just a little bit. You would get about half volume. And then by month 3, typically, that's whenever everything dried up. He would end up getting on a call with them, or they would have weekly calls just to satisfy or appease him in the meantime, telling him things like trust the process, blah blah blah. It would always dry up, and then he's like, well, why am I paying this much just to get a few leads? Because then, moral of the story is you have to sign up every single lead that comes into your inbox, and that is super stressful and a huge burden on whoever is doing the service. But meanwhile, he was having to juggle payroll, run his own Facebook ads, run his own content, make his own, like, basically juggling production and everything all at the same time. So then it just like hit me one day, and I figured, well, it's not that blue collar companies need to learn how to do marketing. It's more that no marketer has ever built a good system that actually is tailored and works specifically for blue collar companies. So we'll start with the problem, the 3 main marketing lies to blue collar businesses.
You liar!
Let's break down the biggest ones first though. Lie number 1, that's gonna be that more leads equal more sales. This reminds me of a friend of mine, John Franco, over in East Tampa. He has about 3 marketing companies all working for his roofing company all at the same time. Don't ask me why. It's like some of them are doing Meta, some of them are doing Google pay-per-click, and then another one is doing straight AI ads. But basically out of these 3 separate marketing funnels, you would think that one of them is working well. I know that his SEO is working well, but these other ones that are getting leads, not so great. Because when I was talking to him more about it, he's paying the same as some of our other clients currently who are having a really good like 50% show rate, or even a like 70 to 80% booking rate, right? Like actually jumping on a call and then actually submitting for a roofing inspection. An equivalent to solar would be someone who calls, like let's say you get a lead, but then they didn't submit all their info, but they still want to take a sales call, and then they still want to send you their electric bill so that you can build a proposal for them. Cool. That's a proper lead. Well, he's been paying all of this for months now, and he's getting good amounts of leads, about 7 to 10 per day, which is actually phenomenal.
That was phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal.
However, the part that's not so phenomenal is that they're not answering the calls. They're not picking up the phone for whenever they try and reach back out to them. So the leads submit their info, telephone, email, and then it's up to John and his team to pick up the phone and call them so that they can set up an inspection. Well, no one's answering the calls. That's a huge issue because he's getting so many leads, but then you get this huge FOMO because you know that all these leads are on the other side of this door, but the door is not opening up.
I think this place is closed off.
At that point, it's like cost per acquisition is actually very high, even though your cost per lead is super, super low. I think it's not even that low. I mean, it's like $40 to $50 per lead right now. And these other ones that we're doing are about the same price, but it's an 80% show rate versus a less than 10% show rate for whoever has him on a retainer. Lie number 2, let's go to that. So the algorithm is the problem. The algorithm is not the problem. All right, let me explain.
Explain yourself.
It's not the problem that most contractors just post random content, or they post the exact same content every single time. All right, you want to have your brand positioning in line so that you are giving the same storyline each time. You don't want it to be boring. You don't want it to be the exact same message every single time. You want to switch it up just a little bit. It's not that the algorithm hates you.
It hates me.
You're just posting before and afters, and we all know that's the last thing that you want to do nowadays because it just doesn't give enough information. Lie number 3 is that you can outsource trust. What does that mean? Yes, you can hire an agency. That's actually a easy thing to do. It's a very common thing to do, but you are the face of your company. You can't have some agency make all the creative for you unless you have a very specific plan put into place that builds a storyline, yada, 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 or using AI. Like, come on, dude. Like, people know that it's AI.
I think it's pretty obvious.
It's not real. So why would they buy from a roofer that's not real? Are they going to get a roof that's not real too? People buy from people. So they want to see you on the camera talking to them, being their friend. Why can't we be friends? They want to buy from people, not from businesses, not from corporations. That's why you can't outsource trust. The messaging still has to come from yourself. That being said, once you see all 3 of these lies for what they are, then everything changes. Let's talk about truth. And here's the truth right here, is that today's type of marketing, the way that it actually works is through authority. Before anyone fills out your forms online or contacts you to come and take a look at the roof, take a look at their electric bills, anything to do with their house or any service that you do, whether it's pressure washing, window cleaning, they want to make sure that they trust you first.
Can I trust you?
And then how do you build trust? It's through being an authoritative figure. This means giving away the sauce, doing trainings, doing lunch and learns, and then documenting the process all throughout. That's why we've built something called the Authority Vlog System. So what it does is it combines your story, your process, and then the proof of what you're doing from day to day. And then it puts it all into a nice little storyline so that you're building trust with them before you even run an ad. Okay, this is all purely organic outreach and content. Once you run that system, then we layer paid ads on top of automations, and then we retarget or use that attention to turn it into appointments. Think of it kind of like this. Content warms up the crowd, and then the ads will call them over to the action side of this pendulum. You got a pendulum over here. Use the content to warm them up, and then you shift them over with the ads so that they can take action. And then the automation closes the gap. Automation can be all kinds of different things. One of them is using ads and funnels so that we can get them on the phone. Let's go ahead and talk about the framework. This is how you're gonna fix the problem.
I'm all ears.
First off, you're gonna educate them with content. Number two, you're going to convert them using ads. Number three, you're gonna capture them. Not like, okay, that sounds wrong.
What did you just say?
Not like a prisoner. You're gonna capture them, and then you're gonna follow up. Sales, not prison. And then number four, you're gonna systemize it for scale. Nothing works without a system. Let's rewind real quick.
Let's rewind, shall we?
Number one, let's talk about the content. We're gonna use content to educate people. No one cares what you've done unless they can learn from it and unless it benefits them somehow. A better way to say it is that if you are showing off your work, yeah, that's cool. Give yourself a pat on the back, but it should only be like 10% of your entire repertoire. Otherwise, what we call this is jerk off content. You're just jerking off, showing people how cool you are.
Come on, look at me, I'm cool.
My verbiage about it or not, those are the facts. Number two, wait. Before I get ahead of myself, you're gonna take this content, you make weekly long form videos, especially depending on your budget. Like not everyone always has the budget for weekly long form videos, but if you're doing it really like right, you do weekly long forms, and then you chop it up into short forms and you distribute all of this. You have your main weekly episodes, and then you have daily reels essentially. And that's like when the whole hamster wheel is working at full capacity. This builds trust. They see you, they know that you're teaching them, and hey, teach a man to fish, he's gonna love you. Number two, we're gonna convert these people with ads. What does that look like? We run meta ad campaigns. And this targets the already warm audience that's engaging with your content. And yeah, we can actually capture that information, find those people that are watching your actual content, and then target them so that we can get back in front of them and get them to purchase or at least inquire about your services. Easy enough, right?
Easy peasy.
Number three, we're gonna capture and funnel them. Funnel. I just gave away one of the answers. Follow up. That's what I meant. We're gonna capture and follow up. So what this looks like is whenever you hit them with their ads, you're gonna use organic content. This is all encompassing. You're gonna use organic content, but also the ads. But both of these are gonna have funnels that are baked in that essentially funnel and collect leads for you, for your business, so that you can automate text or even follow up with them yourself, whether you have an in-house team or like a sales rep. These are really good for this, you know? You can do everything from text, email to phone call follow-ups. That way you're nurturing these people into booking a call. That way no opportunity gets lost.
Bulletproof.
Then it moves on to number four, which is systemizing for scaling. This is super simple. So basically, yeah, what you do is you use automation and delegation to be able to funnel or like move those leads around, and you're not missing out on them. Okay, you're gonna have a system. That way no one's falling through the cracks, because honestly, if someone falls through the cracks, then that gives you a window of time that introduces itself into your sales cycle. And we all know that time kills deals. That's essentially what it is. You want to, whenever someone lands into your funnel, you want to immediately start following up with them and nurturing them so that you can convert that into a lead, because the more time that goes by, the colder that prospect will get, unless you're using organic and paid content to get back in front of them. And this is part of that system. That's why you're systematizing it, so that you can scale it. Another side note as to why you want to systematize is so that this system can work without you being so hands-on. This is where you're going to be able to scale your business so that you can exit, right? Because in order for private equity to acquire your business, it has to be able to work without you. That's number one of the entire list. Essentially, that's how you go from having a randomized marketing machine into turning it into like a repeatable and predictable growth business. Just for a super quick example, we have Daniel. He owns and this one's not even in Florida technically. So I'm in St. Petersburg right now, but our other office is in South Louisiana, and he's in Baton Rouge. Daniel owns a home painting company, or just painting in general, I guess is what you would call it. Obviously, I haven't worked with a ton of painters, but obviously this works for them too. So he reached out to us. We got him hooked up onto the system. He went from having like super scattered results and only making like 5 figures per month. Well, I mean, I guess if you put it that way, then yeah, it's still 5 figures, but
it's better than nothing.
Always bidding on like small jobs, just getting this and that, like one job a week for around like $3,000 to $5,000, and then in many cases just painting single rooms for just trying to scrape together whatever he could. What we did was we implemented this exact same system. He went from getting $3,000 to $5,000 deals to landing his first $30,000 job within 30 days.
That's impressive.
The guy called Seth, that's my business partner, and he's been working really directly with Seth on this for the most part. But he called Seth thanking him up and down, like on the verge of tears. Seth was like, hey man, like not gonna lie, I got pretty choked up. This is exactly how this works. You go from making random content. He was making random content on his Instagram, and they had a lot of followers. And this is kind of where having a lot of followers doesn't necessarily mean that you're gonna have a successful business or get steady income of leads. Viral hits don't mean that either. It really narrows down to how you're targeting your audience, if you're getting the right audience, and then how you're getting back in front of them, if you can retarget them. So what you do is you get that organic audience that's already interested in your services, then you run ads to warm them up a little bit, and then you know who is actually engaging with these content, and then you retarget them, and then you put them right into the lead funnel. Boom. I mean, that's a pretty small example, because there's others that we've done before. We had, actually, I believe that was Lee. We ended up running a mastermind, or like a town hall style webinar, where he went from, and this was his biggest day yet, he was like signing up a good handful of deals per day, but this one took a lot of his dropped off prospects, and we put them into this funnel where they all showed up for this webinar and absolutely crushed it.
You crushed it.
He ended up running 2 webinars and then signing up $500,000 of revenue just off of those 2 hour-long webinars. Obviously, the thing works. So if this clicked for you and you're ready to stop gambling on random ads, hoping that it's gonna bring you a profit, then click the link down below and download our free, yes, it's free. It's free!
free, bitches, it's free!
The blue collar marketing blueprint. In there, it's going to show you exactly the roadmap that we put people through, whether it's roofers, whether it's solar, whether it's any home service business. And it'll show you exactly how you go from day one all the way to day, I don't know, let's say 100, to where you're going from just getting started to doing 7 and 8 figures in revenue. And if this seems like something that you'd want to hop on a call with, then click the next link and you'll have the chance to actually jump on a call with us or someone on my team. They'll make sure that you're taken care of and have a clearer vision of what that would even look like, and even if we're someone that can actually work together. Pretty much what the strategy call looks like is we'll take a look at your brand, we'll take a look at your online presence, we'll take a look at your SEO, we'll take a look at your Google business listing, we'll take a look at your ads, we'll take a look at your offers, we'll take a look at how you're shooting your content, we'll take a look at your onboarding process, your sales pitch, your door-to-door pitch even. We do have a lot of actual hands-on experience with that as well. If you want any advice on that or even just a free strategy call, then feel free to hit us up. Either myself or someone on the team will hit you up and just see what you got going on. That's pretty much it. Okay, well, thanks for watching. If you made it this far, be sure to subscribe down below, because next week we're gonna be showing you exactly how to get 100,000 views organically for your roofing or solar company or home service business. So make sure that you don't miss that, because it's gonna be a really good one. And otherwise, hit one of these 2 videos. YouTube thinks you're gonna like it a lot.